In the early hours of August 26th, Illumina was doing some offline Minecraft 1.16 speedruns, when all of a sudden, he struck gold. He rolled a great seed, played it very well, and beat Minecraft faster than anyone ever had before in the RSG category. Throughout the run, he used risky play, advanced strategies, and even had his fair share of bad luck. But despite all this, it's technically not going to count as the new world record. Let's take a look at how Illumina pulled off arguably the greatest speedrun in Minecraft history, and exactly what it means to have the fastest speedrun, but not the world record. Illumina spawns on an island, and right off the bat, he's going to use a strategy that you probably aren't familiar with: mapless buried treasure. First developed by Talking Mime, mapless buried treasure is a way to find buried treasure near your spawn without a map, using this pie chart's measurement of block entities. It's become more common for runners to check for buried treasure if they spawn on a beach without a shipwreck too close by. And while Illumina doesn't pull it off too fast, that's because it's a fairly complicated strat to use, and it hasn't been around for too long. The method of finding which chunk the buried treasure is in can take a fair bit of time, but luckily, Illumina is already in the right chunk when he checks. By keeping track of the orange slab of the pie chart, which shows block entities, Illumina can see that there's a block entity loaded in for each direction he looks in, which means that there's a chest in the chunk he's standing in. Buried treasure always generates at the 9-9 coordinates within a chunk, and so by 50 seconds, Illumina has 8 iron, 3 diamonds, some gold, and some food. If you have a Nether entry close by, mapless buried treasure can result in the fastest potential overworld split that doesn't involve a completable ruined portal. And in another stroke of luck, a lava pool spawns right on the beach of the island, which is a very rare spot for one to spawn. However, this overworld isn't crazy fast due to the fact that there are no trees on the island, and Illumina has to swim to a different island to get wood. This loses about 20 seconds, and combined with below average flint luck with a 1 in 15 rate, as well as just faster execution of the mapless buried treasure strats, we could have easily seen a sub 2 Nether entry. As it stands, a 225 entry is nothing to sneeze at. Illumina spawns in a soul sand valley and looks around for any immediate structures nearby before using the entity counter on the F3 screen to find the angle of a nearby bastion. Before he goes to it though, he spots a fortress in almost the exact same direction. 1.16 speedrunners prefer to loot bastions before going to the fortress because they'll have fire resistance potions, among other things, to help with the blaze fight. And on top of that, Illumina is in the most dangerous biome, a soul sand valley, which is devoid of mobs besides skeletons, meaning plenty of extra hostile mobs in the fortress. But Illumina says himself that he doesn't like to force going to the bastion first, and he's comfortable going to the fortress first if it makes sense. So that's what he does here. So Illumina is going to do pretty much the hardest possible blaze fight, with no fire resistance, no shield, and in a soul sand valley. He does have food from the buried treasure, however, and his leather chestplate is a small help. Regardless, this is a very impressive blaze fight, as he repeatedly kills blazes as fast as possible while effortlessly dodging almost every fireball and weaving between different parts of the fortress so he doesn't have to wait for more blazes to spawn. After the first 2 stray blazes don't drop blaze rods, he goes 3 for 3 on the other strays he finds, and 3 for 3 on the first group of blazes that spawn at a blaze spawner. At this point, he spots the bastion right next to the fortress, and on top of that, it's a housing bastion, the most consistently fast bastion in the game. It's at this point that he alerts his fellow speedrunners in the call to the fact that he's on a potential god run, and the pressure and the nerves start to creep up. He kills a stray blaze that's in his path to the bastion, which drops a 7th rod for security, giving him an overall drop rate of 7 for 9. Now, he's got a decision to make. The housing bastion has 2 main routes: bottom manhunt and top-down manhunt. They take a very similar amount of time, with top-down manhunt having a slightly higher risk of death, but also giving the runner an additional double chest, meaning more security on getting all the necessary items. However, the proximity makes this an easy choice for Illumina. He would have to bridge and build up to get to the top of the bastion, losing time, whereas he can quickly boat down and go do the bottom route much more quickly. Nerdy offers some helpful words of encouragement to ease Illumina's nerves.
Illumina, the blind is like so dog shit. Just like play it out, but there's no need to be nervous or anything, 'cause it's like so bad.
Illumina runs the manhunt route, and while this glowstone almost blocks the path to the trading spot, Illumina and the piglins are able to squeeze through. Illumina gets a very helpful 5 obsidian from the first chest he breaks, which is the item runners are most reliant on the chests to get enough of. And with tons of piglins and great trade luck, Illumina is able to have a very fast Bastion split. On top of that, the trading spot is right around the coordinates -200, 0, which are great coordinates to blind travel at. So, he ends up being able to blind travel at 6:07, which is a phenomenal time. Now, it isn't actually the blind travel world record, which now stands at 5 minutes and 33 seconds. And no, I'm not talking about Foewi's blind travel. This one is from a runner called Gianni135, and I highly recommend checking out their world record once you're done with this video. I'll link their run in the description. Anyway, while it isn't the fastest ever pace, it's one of them, and it's 2 minutes faster than Brentilda's blind travel in his world record. However, Illumina also makes a key decision at this point.
Yeah.
Arrows. Oh my god, you have a second half of stream.
No, you're fine, just go for it.
Illumina doesn't take the extra arrows from this chest, and doesn't use the ones he has at all in the end fight. You're probably thinking, why does he need arrows? He's just gonna one-cycle the dragon with beds. While the fastest possible end fight is still on an instant perch and a one-cycle, runners have recently been implementing half-bow strats, where they take a crossbow and arrows from the Bastion, and shoot end crystals while they wait for the dragon to perch. This gives the dragon a higher chance of perching faster, and can even be a backup strat for if you fail the one cycle in some cases. This greatly helps consistency with end fights, making very slow perches much rarer, and runners have been using this strategy quite a bit in tournaments in particular. Of course, we can't blame Illumina for not using a less common strategy on this kind of run. When you're on a pace like this, your brain is going crazy, and every non-essential thought that pops into your head could distract you and slow you down. It's in these high-pressure situations that muscle memory kicks in, and runners have to let their instincts take control. And there may be no one with better instincts and muscle memory in Minecraft speedrunning than Illumina. He has another small stroke of bad luck at this point, as he blind travels into a cave, essentially losing about 30 seconds of time, which he has to spend digging to the surface. Still, he's able to throw his first eye of Ender at 6 minutes 45 seconds. He immediately reaches an ocean, and after just a few seconds of boating...
I see it! No, you don't!
I see it! At this point, Illumina deafens in the call to concentrate on the run. While the end portal room isn't exposed, the Stronghold has great nav, meaning there's a very straightforward path to the portal room. And with plenty of Eyes of Ender, Illumina is able to enter the end at 7 minutes and 50 seconds, shattering the previous world record for entering the end, and being as close to the world record as anyone has been since Brentilda. Now, before he finishes the run, let's take a minute to break down what it means for this to be the fastest speedrun, but technically not the world record. You see, in speedrunning, there are 2 methods of measurement: real-time and in-game time. Real-time is the real-life amount of time that passes in between the runner starting and finishing the run, while in-game time doesn't count any time the runner spent paused, or not in the run. In Minecraft, the measurement that used to determine a run's leaderboard position, and therefore the world record, is in-game time. Brentilda spent about 90 seconds of his world record paused, meaning the real time was accumulating, but the in-game time wasn't, leading to an in-game time of 9:36, but a real time of 11:09. That's a huge difference, so huge that the leaderboard mods changed the timing rules after the run, counting time spent on most kinds of pauses, meaning a run like Brentilda's wouldn't be possible. To beat it, the runner would have to at least come close to beating 9:36 in real time. However, in-game time isn't all that matters. Many people would argue that in a competitive speedrun, real time should be the most important measurement. And while there are good reasons for the time rules that are in place, it's important to take both measures into account. And either way, at this point in the run, Illumina is on historic pace. He enters the end at 7 minutes and 40 seconds in-game time, 40 seconds faster than Brentilda's 8:20. But in real time, Illumina's 7:50 end enter is 2 whole minutes ahead of Brentilda's 9:50. And as is always the case in this category, the final standing of the run comes down to the dragon perch. Again, half bow strats could have been very useful here, but even so, Illumina gets very unlucky with the dragon perch. He's in position for the dragon to perch at 8:15. A minute passes. And then, another. 30 seconds after that, the dragon finally gives in. And amazingly, Illumina is still on pace to beat the game faster in real-world time than anyone ever has on a random seed. It was an absolute god seed, from the cracked Overworld, to the Fortress and Bastion, to the good Blaze and Piglin barter rates, to the Ocean Stronghold, and with the help of some advanced strategies and top-level gameplay. And despite a surprising amount of bad luck, Illumina is about to conquer Minecraft speedrunning yet again. And of course, he's not going to use F3 on the 1 cycle. Why? Because he's Illumina. And this is what he does.
Yo, RTA world record.
Gosh, I'm so
RTA
mad.
world record. That's bullshit.
Well, RTA world record.
First 10xx.
Is it?
Oh my gosh.
Let's go.
That's good.
I'm still mad, but like I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm mad, but I'm
It makes sense you're
happy.
mad. It makes sense you're mad.
I'm mad, but I'm very happy.
At least you got the 11 or the 10.
Second place in in-game time. First in real time. Regardless of the measure, this speedrun is an incredible accomplishment, and one that we're gonna remember for a while now. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to subscribe for plenty more Minecraft speedrunning content. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.